How's it going out there, Big Orange Nation? This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Appreciate you guys checking out the content, being patient with me. Is still on day number 6 and no power up here in upstate South Carolina. Who knows when we'll get it back, but you know, we'll keep on keeping on like we always do. Thank you guys for the support. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, you share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications that we'll go live again one of these days when everything works out. But Tennessee baseball scrimmage number 3 tonight. I was excited about this one to see what come out of it. The only person I saw, Eric Kane, ballquest.com, give him the credit on this. He did pass along his what he saw. So I wasn't there. I actually was contemplating today driving up and trying to see if I could sneak a peek on this. But by the time I would have gotten there, it would have been 5 o'clock, which with scrimmage starting at 3:45. Wouldn't have made it on time. So, we'll see if this keeps dragging along. Maybe old Frank will make the drive since he's got nothing else to do but work around the house. But what I was wanting to see today, Tegan Kuhns, highly regarded freshman, was starting today. I don't know what their pitch counts are. So it's been said, what I've read about on this is out of the guys pitching, they're on a pitch count. So they'll go pretty much until they hit their pitch count, or if they get through 2 innings. It's looked to me like, based on what I've seen out of each of the 3 scrimmages, guys are not going any more than 2 innings. These freshmen are the real deal. And I've been saying that for a while now. This class, there is. Now, I don't know that this team this year's going to have your top-end talent like Christian Moore, Blake Burke, Billy Amick, Tears, Dreiling, some of these guys. As far as pitching, I think there is more top-end talent. But you got to factor in last year, that pitching staff got a job done. I didn't think there was any one just overly dominant true ace. I mean, Drew Beam was Drew Beam for 3 years. He was consistent. He was fairly consistent pitcher. He was big in the postseason for the most part. When he got to Omaha 2 years in a row, he was lights out. This staff, to me, has a chance. I think they have more top-end talent. But you got to, you're factoring in at the end of the year. Sechrist was lights out. He was excellent. Aaron Combs, excellent at the end of the year. Cannell would do his job for the most part. And I'm forgetting other guys. So I was curious to see who pitched tonight. And according to Eric Kane, of course, Kuhns went 2 innings. Ryan Combs pitched 2. Tate Strickland, another freshman, went 2. Nick Abraham 2. Aiden Hayes, another freshman, 1 2/3. Stratton Scott, I'm thinking he's a freshman as well, went 2 innings also. So they, based on what they do, I know Kuhns was facing a good part of the order for Tennessee tonight. Kuhns went 2 innings. He had a walk, gave up a hit, had 2 strikeouts, as what I've gathered off of his performance. And I know just, reading about it, talking to people around, this guy's going to be a part of the rotation in the spring. It's going to happen. Liam Doyle, Tegan Kuhns, in no particular order. Who's that third guy going to be? There's no way you're keeping Kuhns out of it. This guy he's top 50. It was a surprise he even made it to campus. Fortunately, he did. These things work out sometimes. He's a 19-year-old guy, 2 years. I expect him 2 years and done. I saw a comment from a poster today who said this may be the best freshman pitcher that's ever stepped on campus in Knoxville. That's a big statement. That's a big, bold statement. But I do know this dude he's come in hungry. These freshmen are putting in the work. They've been with Coach Eberhardt. They put on the weight. This dude's got it all, man. He's got it all coming in. Kuhns does. And facing the part of the order he faced tonight, that's an iron sharpens iron type of thing with the guys he faced. Good outing for him. Again, this is according to Eric Kane. Tate Strickland, if I'm reading this right, 2 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. That's pretty impressive. I'm not sure which part of the order he faced tonight. If he was the orange team, Kane's got it listed home away here. So I don't know exactly. I do know who Kuhns faced. I know he faced the home team with Antigua, Perry, Looks like Wright, Abernathy. Am I looking at this? Yeah, that's right. So he faced a good part. That's the main one I know on this. Other than that, again, pretty good looking outings. Aiden Hayes 1 2/3. He had a walk. Looks like 2 walks, 3 hits, 2 home. No, I'm sorry, 3 walks, 3 hits, 2 home runs. If I'm seeing this right, so not a good day for Hayes. Nick Abraham, 5 hits. This is kind of hard to read how I'm reading it. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So to me, what stood out was Kuhns and Tate Strickland. Those are 2 guys that stood out to me. Stratton's got 2 innings, a hit, a run not earned, a hit by pitch. Ryan Combs 2 innings, a home run, a hit by pitch, and a run on him. So Kuhns seems to be ahead of the pack. And Strickland, I've heard good things about Tate Strickland as well coming in. Is he a bullpen guy? Can he be a starter? Which of these freshmen could contribute? I think Kuhns is definitely a starter. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And again, I'll look at Liam Doyle. That third one, I'm curious to see what does Nate Snead do? What does Dylan Lloyd do? Tanner Franklin, I've heard Tanner Franklin mentioned as well, which kind of surprised me based on his numbers coming in, as he averaged right out of walking inning last year. So that one's kind of interesting to me as well. And forgive me for just a crappy looking screen right now. I'm making do with what I've got right now to try to get some content in. I don't have any lights up here where I'm recording that, but hitting wise, talk about these freshmen. Still talking about these freshmen. According to, again, this was Eric Kane, VolQuest.com. Levi Clark. This dude's going to be hard to keep out. I've heard good things about him. His bat, how he's going to be hard to keep out of the lineup. He had a double, a 2-run home run today. This is who stood out to me based on what Kane's reported. Dean Curley had a couple hits. Antigua, they got guys on. He got a sac fly. Jay Abernathy, an RBI single, 2 stolen bases. This dude with his speed, his ability to get on, what he can do, he can play multiple positions. This is another guy. How are you going to keep him out of the lineup? One guy I've not mentioned as much. I talked about Andrew Fisher multiple times. He's had good scrimmages. Gavin Keelan, though. I saw a poster on VolQuest said that Levi Clark and Gavin Keelan actually went back-to-back today on bombs. Keelan has had a couple good days in a row. These transfers are the real deal. Fisher and Keelan, my expectation, knowing how Tony Vitello does his lineup, is you're going to see Keelan leading off. I think Dean Curley second is where I would go with it, because I know Tony Vitello normally likes to go left, right, or right, left, ever how you go, and then Fisher third. So I would go Keelan, Curley, Fisher as my top 3. Subject to change, though. I mean, if a Levi Clark keeps hitting it, if a Stone Lawless gets in the lineup, could Hunter Inslee go in that 4th position? I see him as a 4th or a 6th hitter, depending on how they go with it. I think Keelan for sure lead off, and then where they go from there. Could Hensley be the second 2-hole guy on it? I don't necessarily think he's a 2-hole guy, but he has hit there before, obviously. So that does bear watching. You could go Keelan, Inslee, Fisher, and possibly Curley hitting cleanup. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go. I think Andrew Fisher has a big, big year in Knoxville. In this park, coming to Knoxville, it looks like he is probably going to play third base. I don't see where the guys played fielding-wise today. But I know through the first 2 scrimmages, I have seen that Fisher's played third. So that's kind of looking like your third baseman. And then it's, Curley, Keelan, Antigua fighting for those middle infield spots. Could somebody DH? Could somebody shift to the outfield? I don't really see any of them do it. There's a lot of dynamics to this. It's, again, I kind of suspected Fisher more first base, left field, but with him playing third, that changes the dynamic a lot. I really thought Curley was your third baseman, either Keelan or Antigua short, and the other at second. But it definitely, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, they've got scrimmages later on this month. One in Nashville, I think one in Jackson. It is. There's more intra-squad coming up. So they'll be going for the biggest part of this month coming up. But just wanted to pass along. Again, I wasn't there, so I'm not trying to play this that I was there firsthand or nothing. Now, the only person I've seen posting anything tonight was Eric Kane, VolQuest.com, so appreciate him, passing along, not directly to me, but passing along, just sharing his scrimmage thoughts on VolQuest tonight. But keep you posted on any other stuff I hear along the way. But if you're a baseball fan, Tennessee baseball fan, man, you got to be excited about the talent on this campus this year. There's going to be multiple young guys that contribute to this team. There'll be those guys each year that maybe you didn't hear a lot about the year before that steps up and becomes, a big part of that. Some other guys that stood out. Colby Backus, it says, did hit a home run off Ryan Combs tonight. And I see Andrew Fisher had an RBI single. Inslee had an RBI single. So that's really the only ones that I have here. At Hunter High, it looks like had a single again tonight. That's looking to me like a guy who could be that dude we maybe didn't hear a lot about last year that steps up in a big way this year. But that's what we got right now for baseball. Hope anything else I get, I'll pass along to you as well. It's exciting time to be just a Tennessee sports fan in general. But Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. I keep forgetting to post this, but check out those membership tiers as well, or the Patreon. If you want to say thanks, there is that super thanks in the bottom right corner as well. Always appreciated there as well. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.